Welcome back to the Grim Workshop. Today we're going to be looking at the hide scraping tools on the Woniya Thibeault Signature Card. So Woniya Thibeault's card is kind of unique. I really like this card. I've got a lot of bases covered from the arrowhead to the knife. There's a lot of crafting tools, and I am all about the crafting in the woods. But her specialty, and you can tell from this card, is working hides. So she's got a couple different tools here. She's got one that's more specialized in taking fat and any meat off a hide that's fresh. And then she's also got a tool here that's more specialized for dry scraping hides. Here's the fleshing tool on the Woniya card. And this is used kind of like it sounds like. You are going to take a green, fresh hide, and you have to remove all the meat, all the membrane, all the fat, anything from the inside of that. And if you were to leave any of it, that's just going to cause the hide to rot. So on the top of this, there's a saw edge, and that does a couple things for you. First of all, there are certain areas on a hide that is a little tougher to cut through. Some things you just can't push right through. So with a little saw edge like this, I can kind of work through some of the tougher cartilage, some of the tougher membrane. But also you can use this to harvest a handle. So as it is right now, I can grab a hold of this and I can detail work small hides. I would not want to work a large hide with this. Now with these holes, I can do a couple things. I can take key rings off my keys, slip them through each side, and then I've got some kind of purchase to hold on to this. I can do the same thing with snare wire. But Woniya has kind of designed this tool to be used inside of a handle. So we can harvest the stick using the saw back. We can split it and then tie it or wire it into that split stick. And that's going to give you a full-size handle, and it's going to be much more comfortable to work. To give you a better idea of what you're trying to accomplish when you're using a fleshing tool, here is an inside-out raccoon. Now, this is not my favorite woodland animal, but some people think they're a little more cuddly looking when they're fur side out. So this is one pass with my full-size fleshing knife, and that is right down to the hide. If I went any further than this, then I would just poke right through the animal. So you can see here where I stopped. This membrane is what you're actually going to have to peel off. So to do that, you're going to use a fleshing beam of some type. So in the woods, you would just lay this over a log, a smooth log or a branch, and you would just work your fleshing tool. You could use an improvised tool, you could use the one off the card, but you're just going to go one direction and you're going to peel all this stuff back. The animals are different. So raccoons have quite a bit of fat on them as well. So I didn't touch this side yet, but you can see all that fat. Now that's a resource as well. So if you were in a longer term survival situation, not only would you have hide, you'd have meat, you'd have bones for tools, but with this fat, you're going to be able to make a candle. You could use that to preserve your equipment. But if you leave that on there, this hide's going to rot. So you're going to have to take this entire hide down to this level just to get started to preserve it. So I don't do a lot of hide work, so I don't have the best fleshing tool. This is my fleshing knife. And you can see that is not like a draw knife or a knife at all. This is dull. And you can accomplish the same thing using this small tool. So this green stick's about 16 inches long, and this was just like one hit from a parang. So I'm just going to go ahead and split this a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and insert this with the serrated edge into the wood. So I want the beveled edge down. So when you seat this, you want to make sure you don't go past the holes. This side, I'm just going to get it just a little bit deeper. About like that. Now I'm just going to wrap some wire around here just to kind of hold it a little more secure. So you can use it by hand, but this is an awesome design with these holes and just a little bit of snare wire. I've got a full-size working tool, and I'm going to be able to work that hide a whole lot easier. So if you work a lot of hides, you're going to want to set up a fleshing beam area, or if you were in a longer-term camp, you could do the same thing with just a smooth log. So here's the tool on the handle. And you're just going to want to clean this off. So there's people that don't even carry a pocket knife or a big lighter. And for you to be able to stick a card like this in your wallet and be able to flesh out hides, and then there's other tools on there to help you work those hides. But that is an outstanding tool. That works really well. That's how you use the fleshing tool. Now this dry scraping tool is something you can either mount on a handle or you can use this by hand. I do not do a lot of dry scraping. So dry scraping is where you take the hide that's already been fleshed and you actually put that in a frame and you lace it in, and then as it dries and turns into raw hide, you can come in with a tool like this and go against the grain of the hair and peel the hair off. So I got another piece of that same stick, and I'm just going to put a saw kerf in about an angle like this, and then we're going to wire that into place. So kind of like this, the kerf holds the angle and the wire is holding this tool into place. I don't do a lot of dry scraping, but this whitetail hide is half done. So I've got some of the hair off this. This is going to work pretty good for an example. On Woniya's channel, she goes over all the functions of her card and does a great job of it. So go over and check out her channel. But I'm going to be able to go against the grain, and it's just going to pop this hair off. So I do have to say, these tools are an outstanding design. They work really well. They work really well for the size that they are and that you can improvise handles for them. The ability to work hides is a required wilderness living skill. And having the equipment to do that in your wallet, man, that is next level stuff. So this is not really something I excel at. This is not really something that I am good at compared to people who work hides all the time. But even with my skill level, I'm able to use these tools and process hides. So if this is not something you're able to do yet, by all means, learn how to trap, learn how to hunt, take those hides and actually process them. Practice doing something with them so you have that skill if you need it later. So a lot of these survival cards has traps and tools and things like that, but there's not a lot of tools that helps you deal with hides in the wilderness. Definitely check out Woniya's card.